It's The 10 Show with Bill Henley and Lori Wilson.
Our next guest is an author of a book called The Best Investment. She's here with strategies parents can use to help their children cope with financial crises that we're going through right now. Please welcome Dr. Andie Goodwin-Wiener. Nice to have you.
Thank you.
Now, let me just, truth in journalism here. I'm glad I'm doing this segment because I had this problem, this anxiety with finances. My mother died when I was 11. My dad had nobody else to confide in, and I knew every financial problem we had, and we had tons. And I really do think it left me with some anxiety about that. I'm assuming now with men losing their job, mothers losing their jobs, and the stock market going to heck in a handbasket, that a lot of people are going through the same thing that I am. Do you agree with this, or is my premise right?
I agree, Terry. You know, there's definitely going to be a rise of anxiety and depression among adults. This is unprecedented times right now. But I think what we need to do is really focus maybe on the children.
Because they feel it even though you might not realize they feel it.
Absolutely. I call these children Generation R, because Generation R is the children that will be most affected by this unprecedented 2009 recession.
Well, let me cut you off real quickly. How would this manifest itself? Bad grades in school, not sleeping? How can you tell?
Well, with children, there's all different ways that you can tell with that. But I think that what you're going to see is what's happening in the parents' lives is going to spill over in the children's lives. So if a parent is feeling anxious or fearful, it's definitely going to spill over. And children are really astute. They're amazing. They'll pick up on your tone, they'll pick up on your voice, they'll pick up on those conversations that they weren't supposed to hear.
Sure.
And so if parents are feeling fearful and anxiety, they really need to calm themselves down and project a calm manner.
All right, so you wrote the Best Investment. It's aimed at parents and their kids.
Right.
What are some of the things we need to talk about? Here's some on the screen now. Express feelings in a way that provides children with a fear from not being fear and improving their skills. Explain that.
Well, if you express your feelings, and I believe that parents should express their feelings. We are emotional beings, so we should be expressing our feelings, but do it in a way that's not so panicky. As I said before, if you're expressing yourself in a calm manner, it's going to be so much more reassuring.
So you want honesty without alarm.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
Okay. Point two then. Explain the economics of the situation that's going on right now. That's part of being forthcoming.
Yes, and you should do this in, again, another calm, reassuring manner. Children need to know this. Let me give you a personal story, Terry. When I was about 11 years old, my own family was dealing with financial issues, and in fact, my father was facing bankruptcy. And my parents sat us around the table, and my brother, my sister, and I, and said, okay, this is what's going on. And all I could visualize as they were talking was I was going to be out in the street with, you know, rags and begging for food. And I turned to my mother, and I said to her, Mom, you know, are we going to be really, really poor? And she said, and I'll never forget this, she said, no, honey, we're not poor. We're really rich. And she said in a very calm voice, she said,
made a difference.
And well, the reason why we're rich is because we have each other, we love each other, and we have our health. And that makes us rich. And those words, Terry, when I walked away from the table, I didn't think about all the other things that I couldn't have. I thought about I had something much more valuable.
Our clock is ticking. Let me go over these other 2 points. You say focus on what children have instead of what they can have. That's somewhat saying what you just said. Help children see that the cup is half full rather than half empty. So a lot of it's attitude. And you say no from an empathetic point of view. Don't say no. Say I understand how you feel, showing you're being a buddy there. And
That's
kind of
exactly right. You know, this is a generation that has, you know, I see it, therefore I want it generation right now. And they're used to material things. So they may not be aware that the money well is dried up. So say no from an empathetic point of view, maybe saying, I understand how you're maybe feeling. Because if you're empathetic to them, they'll learn to be empathetic back to you.
Dr. Wiener, it looks like a good investment. It's called The Best Investment. It's news that you can use, and it might be good to read, particularly if you're in a family way and having some financial problems. Thanks for being with us.
Thank you.
Thanks so much.